What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's Battles. Today we're here with some Total War Warhammer 2. Awesome 2 versus 2 action for you. I'm teamed up again with our good friend Dahv Plays. Check out his YouTube channel if you haven't already done it. He's just an awesome guy, and we get a chance to play twos together pretty often here. And this time we've got someone special for you. We've got the elves. So we've got the high elves and the dark elves. So you see here that Dahv is playing Alarielle, the Radiant herself, and I'm using actually just the Glady. So we've got the two ladies up on top of their eagles there. Besides that, our opponents over here are on ladder, and they are Chaos and the Empire. So this is a pretty cool game just because we do have a lot of elf action going for you guys. So let's go ahead and show you guys the armies right off the bat. You see here that Dahv, true to form, has brought a bunch of Valerian Reaver archers. You see there that they're actually all up to 1 silver chevron, which gives them some additional attack and defense. It actually makes them really, really good with 35 and 38, and it does add to their missile damage a little bit there as well. We've also got those Regiment of Renowned Valerian Reavers, which are really good, and they can fire while they're moving. All of these units can, which is, just so awesome. Like, these guys are just going to be in here just harassing the hell. We've also got one group up here, just my addition to the party. We've got some Glade Riders with Hagbane tips, just to toss some poison in there and kind of maybe slow down anything that's coming at our front lines. And you can see here we have combined our armies together. So we wanted to keep it, all kind of together. You can see our front lines are here. You can see Dahv really has the mobile units going here in the front and in the back. So he does have these 3 groups of Dragon Princes. You can see these guys are pretty much one of my favorite cavalry units in the game, if not the best unit. I also really love the colors they get. Look at those. They look awesome in green. So Dahv has 3 groups of Dragon Princes, which means he doesn't have room for much else. So he does have the Illyrian Reaver archers. He's got the Dragon Princes, and then he does have just some regular spearmen here. You can see there's 4 groups of spearmen, as well as, like I mentioned before, he does have L'Ariel up on that Great Eagle. And let's take a look there at her. You can see here we've got Star of Averlorn. He's definitely got Arcane Conduit and Arcane Unforging, so he's ready to do some good damage. Tempest here, healing with Earthblood, and the Shield Stone of Isha, giving that physical resistance and a good AoE around her. So, Alarielle is just really, really strong and able to actually give some really good healing effects. Our Glady as well is pretty strong. You see here up on top of her eagle. And she is mostly just stripped all the way down. So I wanted to bring her as cheap as possible. So none of her abilities. So no arrows of Kurnus, none of that. She's just up here to get on to business. I thought about it afterwards, and it probably would have been better to use the Glade Lord if I was going to do that. But you live and you learn. So we're doing it the Glady this time. It's the ladies, the elven ladies that are coming at. So you can see here we do have some Eternal Guards with shields in the front line. We do have the Regiment of Renown over here, those Winterheart Guards. These guys are always worth it, I feel like. Super strong, and they just last forever. We've also got here in the middle, this is our big damage dealers. We've got 2 groups of Way Watchers and 2 groups of Glade Guard with Hagbane tips. So these guys should be able to poison, while these Way Watchers just do huge amounts of damage. We've got the Firebark Elders here in front, which now give their aura to themselves. One of my favorite new regiments of renown. Those guys just last so long. They're really hard to kill. And in the background here, you can see we've got a Spellstinger of Life who doesn't have a lot. The only thing we've got is Awakening of the Wood as well as Earthblood, and that is the Awakening of the Wood is just get more procs of the Life Bloom. Even though they nerfed it, I still like it in 2s. It does do some good healing across all of the units, and 2 groups of Wildwood Rangers there in the back to do some good armor piercing damage. So our opponents have brought a crazy chaos line. So they look at this, chosen with great weapons across the board. This is 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 4. I think it was 4 groups of chosen with great weapons. And then look at this up here in the air, 2 Chaos Feral Maticores, all the way ranked up to gold chevron. So these guys are super expensive, and just look at them. They look nasty, man, but they are. Those guys will cause terror. Ranked up, look at that. They've got 8. They're doing okay. They've got 83 leadership, the 47 attack, 51 defense, so they'll last a lot longer. That 445 weapon strength is always pretty strong. And the 50 charge bonus, meaning that when they charge in, they've got pretty much over 100 attacks, so they should be able to just crush through anything and get some major hits on there. Here on the flank, you can see there are a couple groups of Demigryph Knights, and this is something you don't see very often. These are Demigryph Knights with shields, so these guys will be very good at blocking all of our range damage that should be coming in. You can see here in the back we do have Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, on top of his flaming steed there. I think it's Dorgar. And then, so he's got standard die. You can see he's brought piercing bolts, he's brought flaming sword of rune, he's got all sorts of spells. And so this is something I do want to point out, guys. Don't bring that many spells. Only bring 2 or 3 fire spells at the max, and it'll definitely save you some gold to use on your troops. So he could have maybe had another group of maybe some marauders to mix in there with those chosen with great weapons. But you can see for the light units, the Empire player does have it. He's got 3 groups of swordsmen there. He's got some spearmen with shields and some handgunners over here on the flanks, and then here he does have a mortar, so he is able to have. They do have the artillery advantage now, considering we have none. That's, you know, pretty good. And it looks like the Chaos Archaon has corrupted this general of the Empire, who is now fighting on the side of Chaos. And you can see here by Sigmar, no, he has a rune fang. It is not okay that he is fighting on the side of Chaos and he has a rune fang there, but he does. He's also got stand your ground. And so, you know, that's, I think there they are. There's the group of Demigryph Knights with halberds. I couldn't remember where they were. So these guys are the 4th group of Demigryph Knights. So you see, we both kind of went with pretty specialized army. One group doing the main chunk and the other group doing the cavalry. And so let's go ahead and get this battle started so I can show you guys how these elves get in there and do some good work. Alright, so right off the bat, you'll see that mortar starts firing in. You see some explosions. And it's going to do okay to those Valerian Reaver archers. And since they're ranked up like that, they're pretty expensive, and we do not want to take some heat. So we're going to retreat. And this hill is going to play to our advantage because our archers are able to get up and fire over the top. But his mortar is really going to have a hard time and just going to keep trying to move forward. So at the same time as we kind of, you know, dodge around, you see we're starting to move up and kind of position a little bit. Dahv is getting some shots in. You can see big hits coming in from the Valerian Reaver archers, but not a lot of damage being done. But at the same time, you hear my archers coming in here, those Way Watchers and that poison getting in there. And we're actually, as these Demigryph Knights turn away, their shields are not going to come into play. So these big shots are coming right in here, and none of them will be blocked by those bronze shields. And we've actually gotten that group of Demigryph Knights down about a third of their health. So that was a pretty good volley. And we are going to start moving in here to see if we can't take advantage of the fact that he's moving all of these units to the very back of the field. So you can see here the Chosen with great weapons are starting to move forward, and they're just facing up the hill into just huge amounts of fire. You can see mortar shots coming from over the top. But, I mean, oh my god, and there is a Tempest in the background. It's doing okay damage to these Chaos Feral Maticores, and they have just so much invested into those 2 units. Oh, there comes some big piercing bolts of burning and a giant flaming skull down the front line. But it actually does almost no damage to those Valerian Reaver archers, so I bet he was pretty depressed. It does do a little bit of damage to my Winterheart guards back here, but not as much, I'm sure, as he had hoped. And there's just tons of magic going on across the board. You can see here that Dahv's starting to move up some of those reserve spearmen, and our front lines are getting engaged. Now let's go ahead and take a pause, or a short slow motion for a second so you can see some cinematic glory here. Look at these Chaos Warriors, or these Chosen with great weapons. They're going to destroy these Eternal Guard with shields. This is just not even a good chance at all. You see there's another burning skull coming through there. And that one was actually off, so you can see here it's actually going to go this way. If it had came down here and done damage along these Glade Guard and this Eternal Guard with shields, it would have done so much more damage. I mean, these are all lightly armored troops. It probably would have killed all, you know, a good 3/4 of these units. But down this way, it does almost nothing. It may reach a little bit of these Wildwood Rainers, but by then it's pretty much burnt out. And you know, it's not gonna do too great. So here in the top, you can see we are engaged here. Let's get that going. And there's just a massive air battle going on. You can see shots coming in from our archers onto one of those Chaos Feral Maticores. And we have both the Lariel and the Glady in there just engaging. You see they are able to take out one Manicore, and they're both going to get on top of the next one, which is immediately going to go feral. And that is the one big problem for me with Feral Maticores, is the fact that, as their name says, they do go feral, and once they go feral, they're pretty much dead. I mean, there is nothing you can do. You see here a big charge coming in from these Dragon Princes, and now that the battle is fully engaged, Dahv can start running these expensive Dragon Princes through. So over here on the left flank, you can see they're charging into those Chosen. Here in the middle, you can see we're still fighting off that gold rank Chaos Feral Manicore, and because of its rank, it's doing really good at taking that Glady down to half health, and it's actually pretty hard for us to kill it over there. But kill it we will, regardless of the fact that we are having to retreat a little bit. We've got the Way Watchers back on action. They're going to start shooting in there, and as soon as a few more volleys and hits come in, that Chaos Feral Manicore is going to go down too. So you can see the battle is just about 50%. You can see Dahv here starting to charge all of these Averlorn Reader Archers and these Dragon Princes around. You can see here that I think a Flaming Skull has gotten out of control. And actually, well, maybe, yeah, it's actually got a pretty good hit on those Chosen with great weapons. And Dahv is going to charge right in here, and we're just going to sandwich them. We've got Wildwood Rangers, and they will cut through the Chosen with great weapons over time. You see here we've actually got the Spellsinger of Life charging through as well. But there is a massive amount of troops over here. This is just a huge amount of Demigryph Knights. They're just surrounded though by all of these spearmen. Look at how well Dahv has got this pocket. All right, hold on, take a look at this. This is awesome. So you can see here that I've got some spearmen here, and Dahv has got spearmen here and here. So all of these units here are just getting stabbed by the anti-large effect of these cheap spearmen, and these are expensive Demigryph Knights. So as these units are dying, that is just the best possible value we could be getting. Up here in the air, you can see we finally cleared away those Chaos Feral Manicores, and so we have free range of the air. We're going to be charging around. You can see I've got the Glady on, she's on melee mode, and you can see her just diving in. She's going to get right on top of this Bright Wizard, knocking the Bright Wizard right on his face. And if we can, we're going to kill that Bright Wizard pretty quick here. There's almost nothing to stop me, and if anything does try to get too close, we'll pull our Glady up into the air to you know, go ahead and get the retreat going on. Here in the back, you can see he has, you know, our Empire player has broken out with the Demigryph Knights, but Dahv is, of course, just retreating those Averlorn Reaver Archers, which are still firing in and just causing massive pain for our opponent. Here in the middle, you can see we've pretty much grouped up and killed off all of the remaining Chosen with great weapons. Here's a group of Spearmen which hasn't even gotten to get in the battle yet. But yeah, look at these Chosen. They're pretty much breaking. We've still got some shots coming in here, but there's lots of Dragon Princes. But, you know, surprisingly, even though there's all of these dead units here at the top, there's still pockets, and that is keeping this battle just pretty much dead even. Here in the back, you'll see the mortar and these handgunners are coming back online. We do have some spearmen and shields coming back. You can see that the Bright Wizard is not 100% broken, and there's still some healthy groups of Chosen with great weapons. There's a pretty healthy group here. There's some groups over here on the right. And I mean, there's just a lot of, you know, healthy heroes. There's plenty of Demigryph Knights remaining, and we don't have that much. These Averlorn Reaver Archers are actually low on ammo, so they're having some trouble. And, you know, that is going to be a big issue, I think, for us now that we're running low on ammo. So if we go ahead and take a look in here, you can see Archaon in here just fighting, trying to pull away, but he is just getting bashed on by those spearmen. It is just neck and neck though. Here in the back, you can see a second group of handgunners starting to return, and all these units are pulling up. You can see the Bright Wizard walking up this hill, and everyone is trying to get back engaged into the battle. We've still got some healing left on the Spellsingers, which I think I'm going to toss right up here in the middle. But, you know, at the same time, look at these Firebark Elders. Just like I said, they're so hard to kill, and they're in here fighting till the very end. These guys just never give up. And, you know, at the same time, with Earthblood now replenishing them, these guys will just last forever. Here in the middle, you can see this group of Dragon Princes getting healing from the Star of Averlorn. As many of them trying to get into that small AoE as possible. And with the assistance of these Spearmen, though, those Demigryph Knights will be short work. You know, while the Dragon Princes are anti-infantry, I think, or maybe they, you know, either way, they're not gonna be able to kill the Demigryph Knights as quickly. But with the Spearmen assisting them, for sure they'll do it. See here in the back, another group of Demigryph Knights shattered by the Heralds of the Wind there, those Averlorn Reavers. And it is pretty much down to the nitty gritty here. We barely have any units remaining for the other team. 660 still remaining. We've got ammo on, you know, most of our Way Watchers still have plenty of ammo left. So you can see here, we're going to start taking some shots in. Go ahead and take some shots in here at the at Archaon, and at that time I realized, oh my god, I'm surrounded in units here. We're actually doing more damage to our teammates than we are to our opponents, so we've got to find someone to shoot at. So I look in the back here, and here's this group of handgunners, and they've finally returned. We've been talking about them all match, and as soon as they return, you can see here a volley is going to come right in and just demolish them. And the next group of handgunners steps up, and they're like, all right guys, we're going to get some shots off. And then if you take a look here, coming in the air, and then some more, here comes another group of arrows, and it's going to come in and send them off. And that is pretty much all she wrote, boys and girls. You can see here there's still some healthy dragon princes. We managed to use all of the spears to negate the cavalry. You can see Archaon here is pretty much down to almost no health. He's been surrounded. He's just been being attacked by Lariel and just these huge number of dragon princes and Spellsinger and just everyone here in the middle. We're down to just the very end, and it was just a great battle, but that was that. So that's all she wrote. Let's go ahead and take a look at that post-game wrap-up and see how the elves did against these corrupted Empire and Chaos troops. So if you see here, look at what the Chaos guy brought. So they definitely brought the specialization. A huge front line of Chosen with great weapons is always strong. Archaon is very, very strong with those fire spells. And so that was just an awesome front line. They got hundreds of kills there, but unfortunately those Chaos Feral Maticores were not great. When they went feral, they were able to be taken out. Unluckily for them, we did have some air units. We had some armor piercing and some poisonous missiles. We were able to, just get in there and just take out those. I mean, ranked up to 9, those guys are so expensive. I think he was hoping to be able to goon out our heroes, but it just didn't work that well. I mean, even you saw we had a Tempest. So we were able to just lock them down from the very beginning and just really take them out of the battle. Over here for the Empire player, you can see here that mortar also, we really were able to get in there and shut it down. And all those Demigryph knights, you saw them surrounded so many times with spears. They were, immediately being harassed here by the Averlorn Reaver archers. And then after they got in the back, then they were surrounded by spears. I mean, we had so much anti-large in these spears that we were keeping just dedicated for those cavalry units, and so they weren't able to find really their place in this match. And the handgunners were just outmatched, outranged by the Wildwood Rangers and the Way Watchers, and so it was just very, very hard for our opponents this game. It seemed like everything they brought had a good counter on our side. We were able to cut through very easily with our armor piercing and the anti-infantry here, charge bonuses from the Dragon Princes. We were able to get through those Chosen, and just the number of troops we had to soak up the damage. They really weren't. I mean, their weaker units were outnumbered by ours, and then they weren't able to soak the damage. I mean, we were able just to really dish it out with our ranged units. So you can see here for Dahv's squad, you see just huge kills on those Dragon Princes. They were able to rank up. I don't believe they started with any ranks on the Dragon Princes. And then the Averlorn Reaver Archers, you saw them. I mean, look at how much health is on Dahv. He only took 245 losses. So, I mean, compared to me, he lost half as many troops. So he was able to keep all these guys just, moving around, keep them moving, keep them guessing, and, was able just to really, really hit and move on the opponent. You can see here that my units actually did pretty well. My Glade Guard and my Way Watchers were able just to rip down do a lot of damage on the handgunners. We were able to keep things slowed. The Firebark Elders were there in the front, just getting kills and taking hits the whole time. And we were able to use the Wildwood Rangers to great effect as well. And just overall, it was a really good match. I mean, the Glade Lord soaked a lot of hits from those Chaos Maticores. But at the same time was able to, not too bad. We were able to make it to the very end. We saved the day. Me and Dahv used our elvish forces to clear the land of chaos once again. And I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Please subscribe below for more great online content. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's Battles.